This is Jeff Bezos' $280 billion life in 2026, and it's way more insane than you think. But I'm also going to show you the 417-foot yacht he sails around the world, his $600 million real estate portfolio, the giant clock he's literally building inside a mountain, and so much more. But first, let's start with the wedding that had an entire city protesting in the streets. So in June 2025, Bezos rents out half of Venice, Italy, for his 3-day wedding to Lauren Sánchez. The total cost? Around $50 million. 200 guests showed up, and they came in on roughly 90 private jets. 90, all landing at the same airport on the same day. The guest list was straight up unreal. Kim, Khloe, Kendall, Kris Jenner, Tom Brady, Leonardo DiCaprio, Mick Jagger, Bill Gates, Sam Altman, Oprah, Ivanka Trump, even the Crown Prince of Jordan, and Queen Rania herself. This wasn't a wedding. This was the Met Gala that happened to have vows. Lauren wore a custom Dolce & Gabbana mermaid gown for the ceremony and then changed into 27 different outfits across the 3 days. One Schiaparelli look alone was $100 grand. They threw a Great Gatsby themed party one night, a pajama party another, and yeah, an actual foam party. Like the kind you went to in college, except in a 1,000-year-old palazzo with Mick Jagger probably standing in the corner. And the rings? Bezos proposed with a pink diamond ring worth somewhere between $2.5 and $5 million. Then during the wedding week, Lauren just casually debuts a second giant ring. And on top of that, Bezos hands her a diamond necklace as a wedding gift, $3 to $5 million. So just on jewelry, that one weekend we're looking at maybe 10 million in stones. But Venice did not take it lying down. Hundreds of locals marched through the streets with banners that said kisses yes, Bezos no, and my personal favorite, if you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more taxes. Activists projected the words "No Kings, No Bezos" onto the bell tower of St. Mark's the night before. Someone even built a Bezos dummy, clutching a fake Amazon box stuffed with cash, and floated it down the Grand Canal like a parade float of rage. Now, with all that wedding money flying around, you might be wondering, where does this man actually live? Well, he doesn't really live anywhere. He lives everywhere. Bezos' real estate portfolio is somewhere north of $600 million, and his current main spot is in Miami, on a tiny man-made island called Indian Creek Village. Locals call it the Billionaire Bunker. 41 houses on the entire island, its own private police force patrolling 24/7, and one bridge in and out with a guard sitting on it. So what does Bezos do? He buys a house for $68 million. Then he buys the house next door for $79 million. Then he buys the house next to that for $87 million. That's $234 million on 3 houses in a row. He's living in one right now while the bulldozers tear down the other 2 so he can build them into one giant mega mansion. And his neighbors, Tom Brady, Ivanka Trump, Carl Icahn, and as of early 2026, Mark Zuckerberg moved in too. Bro's HOA group chat is just billionaires arguing about hedge height, but that's just one stop. Out in Beverly Hills, Bezos has the Jack Warner estate. He paid $165 million for it back in 2020, which at the time was the most expensive home sale in American history. 9 acres in Benedict Canyon, a tennis court, a pool, 2 guest houses, and get this, a 9-hole golf course in his backyard. Not a putting green, 9 holes, plus a motor court with its own gas pumps. So while you're paying $5 a gallon at Shell, Bezos pulls up to his own pump in his Bugatti. And same year, same neighborhood, he picks up another property called Enchanted Hill from Paul Allen's estate for $90 million. 120 acres, which is bigger than Vatican City. He hasn't built anything on it yet. He just owns a piece of land bigger than the home of the Pope for fun. Then over in DC, he owns the largest private home in the entire city. 27,000 square feet. Used to be a museum. The final layout has 11 bedrooms, 25 bathrooms, 3 kitchens, 2 libraries, 2 home gyms, 5 staircases, 2 elevators, and 191 doors. 191 doors. Who needs that many doors? The contractors must have lost their minds. He's also got apartments in Manhattan, his old compound on Lake Washington, an estate in Maui, and hundreds of thousands of acres of ranch land out in Texas. Bro is officially one of the top 25 largest private landowners in America. But none of that compares to what's floating in the ocean. Meet Koru, $500 million, 417 feet long, the biggest sailing yacht ever built. 3 masts, each one over 200 feet tall, 20,000 square feet of sail, a swimming pool on the back deck, 3 jacuzzis, a wooden figurehead at the bow that the internet was convinced was Lauren Sánchez. She had to come out and say, no guys, that's actually the Norse goddess Freya. Sure, Lauren, sure. Now wait until you hear what happened when they tried to launch this thing. Koru was built in the Netherlands. Beautiful boat. Only one problem. The masts were so tall, the yacht physically could not fit under a 100-year-old historic bridge in Rotterdam. Could not get out to the ocean. So Bezos's people walk up to the city of Rotterdam and offer to pay them to dismantle the bridge. The city says yes, until the locals heard about it. The people of Rotterdam got so mad, they organized protests, and a bunch of them said they'd pelt the yacht with rotten eggs the second it tried to pass. They had to scrap the entire plan. Imagine being so rich the only thing standing between you and the ocean is people with eggs. And here's the thing, Koru can't sail alone. So Bezos bought a second yacht just to follow the first yacht around. It's called Abiona, $75 million, 246 feet long. And it carries the helicopter. Yeah, because Lauren is a licensed helicopter pilot, so she literally flies herself from Abiona over to Koru, because walking between 2 boats is apparently for poor people. Combined, both yachts cost about $30 million a year just to operate. That's almost $100,000 a day just to keep them floating. Last Christmas, they were anchored in St. Kitts. This past spring, the Galapagos Islands. Before that, the French Riviera. The man chases the sun like a billionaire vampire. But yachts are slow, so when Jeff needs to move fast, he flies. And his jet collection is honestly insane. He just bought a brand new Gulfstream G700, $80 million. The cabin has 5 separate living areas, including a bedroom with an actual shower in it. He's also got 2 G650ERs and a Pilatus for shorter hops. Total fleet value, over $200 million. And just to park them, he has a private hangar in Seattle worth $5.5 million by itself. The garage costs more than most people's mansions. And get this, in just the first 8 months of 2024, his jets logged 850 flight hours. 2 of his planes alone emit as much carbon as the average Amazon employee would in 207 years. Now, with all that cash, you'd think his car collection would be just as crazy. And yeah, kinda. He's got a Ferrari Pininfarina Sergio, only 6 were ever made, that's $3 million. A Bugatti Veyron Mansory, worth $3.4. A Koenigsegg with a literal diamond weave body, $4.8 million. A Lamborghini Veneno Roadster, worth $5 million. The whole supercar collection is around $20 million, but none of those are his favorite. His favorite car is a 1996 Honda Accord. Yeah, 60 Minutes caught him in 1999 after he was already a billionaire just driving around in his beat-up Honda. He looks at the camera and says, "This is a perfectly good car." People spotted him still driving Hondas as late as 2013. The richest man on earth, parking a Civic at Whole Foods. He still has the Honda. He won't get rid of it. The man has a $500 million yacht and a $2,000 car. Make it make sense. Now here's where it gets really crazy, because Bezos doesn't just spend money. He spends millions every year just to stay alive longer. He's got a celebrity trainer named Wes Okerson, the same guy who trains Tom Cruise and Gerard Butler. They go 30 minutes of cardio, 45 minutes of weights, almost every single day. Resistance bands, free weights, rowing. That's why he went from looking like a regular nerdy CEO in 2015 to looking like he could bench press a small SUV by 2020. He sleeps 8 hours every night. No exceptions. He won't take a single meeting before 10 in the morning. Says his brain peaks before lunch, so that's when he saves his big decisions for. And he refuses to make any major calls after 5 p.m. Says the goal is just 3 good decisions a day, and after that, you're cooked. Oh, and breakfast? He famously eats octopus, like plated up Mediterranean octopus with poached eggs and bacon. There's actually a photo of him holding the plate. Who eats octopus before noon? Apparently, the 3rd richest man alive does. He even has a personal longevity doctor named Peter Adia who flew to Venice for the wedding. So Bezos has a doctor on retainer whose only job is to keep him alive longer. And he's pumping money into a company called Altos Labs that's literally trying to reverse aging at the cellular level. So yeah, this man's not just trying to live like a king, he's trying to live forever. But Bezos' smartest move, it might not be the yachts or the houses or the science labs. It's a clock. Yeah, a clock. Out in the West Texas desert on his ranch, launch, Jeff Bezos is building a 500-foot tall clock inside a mountain. He's already spent at least $42 million on it. The thing is designed to tick once a year. The hour hand moves once every century. And there's a cuckoo. Yes, a cuckoo. That sounds once every 1,000 years. The whole clock is built to keep ticking for 10,000 years with no electricity. It powers itself off the temperature swings between day and night inside the mountain. The musician Brian Eno designed the chime so it'll play a different bell sound every single day for 10,000 years straight. To even visit it, you have to fly into the closest airport, drive 150 miles, and then hike up the side of the mountain at dawn. Lauren actually did a Vogue photo shoot inside it, walking down this spiral staircase that was carved into solid rock by a custom-built robot. Bro is building a clock that will tick long after the United States probably doesn't exist. So how rich is Jeff Bezos really? His net worth sits around $280 billion, making him the third richest man alive. He owns the biggest sailing yacht in the world, multiple mansions on multiple continents, 200 million in private jets, 20 million in supercars, a 10,000-year clock inside a mountain, and somehow still drives a 1996 Honda Accord. Jeff Bezos isn't just rich. He's living a life that doesn't even feel real. And the craziest part, he's still upgrading.